everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Independent Brokerage. My name is Howard Flash, and I am the broker and owner of Roundtable Realty.
And I'm Erin Salem, Director of Marketing Director for Roundtable Realty. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
How was your weekend?
So Aiden is on a wrestling team.
Your son?
Yep,
He
my
is
son.
how old?
He is 9.
9-year-old on a wrestling team. That's
He's on
cool.
He's on a wrestling team, and I think many parents suffered what I suffered on Saturday, which is you drive an hour to a high school, way out, get there at 9, stand in line. I don't know that you know. How long do you think a 9-year-old's wrestling match can go maximum? Max. How long could it possibly go?
Like the match itself?
Yes, the whole match.
Like 30 minutes?
At the maximum, it can go about 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
This is clearly not a sport I know anything about.
So you drive an hour and wait there for hours for him to get to the mat and wrestle for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And his second match lasted about 10 seconds, just so you know.
That'd be a hard pass for me on that sport. Honestly, I pass on most sports, and that's the reason, because I am an incredibly selfish parent who doesn't want to sit for hours and hours and hours. I will say I put my foot down when I was asked by my children about swimming, because I've seen those parents.
That's at like 4 in the morning, isn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
in the freezing cold.
That's a hard pass.
You may
for
not
me.
be a swimmer, I'm sorry. And then we did get into football, flag football. Super fun. I actually really enjoyed that. A lot of action. But then they graduate into tackle football. Well, that's another hard pass. You can't. So we got to cut that off early, because I'm not going to have my kids getting multiple concussions by the time they're 20. It's rough. Sports are rough with kids. Baseball, the worst.
See, and I coach Aiden.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 4 hours.
Well, so this segue into the food
yeah.
portion of our show, which is I had to rush out and grab some lunch for him because it had been 4 hours of sitting on a hard bench,
Right.
waiting for the wrestling match. And
You feel great. Mm-hmm.
so I went from the bottom of the food chain eating this weekend to the top, and the bottom started with Crystal.
Crystal Burgers.
Crystal. 12.
Wow.
Me and Aiden split 12.
Frankly, I'm not even mad. That's
By the way,
amazing.
when I brought it back, he said, I don't like onions. Let me tell you, there are a lot of onions on a Crystal.
Well, you got to give it flavor somehow.
He just was not happy about that at all. Crystal, I felt that. I'm not going to lie. I felt the Crystal all the way through the wedding I went to that night. It was brutal. But
Very specific.
I went to the top of the food chain this week and ate at the Capitol Grill.
I ate at the Capitol
You
Grill.
did?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so funny. When
Yeah.
did you eat there?
I think Thursday night, maybe Wednesday night. Yeah, we ate at the Capitol Grill. Got a really nice ribeye.
Great.
Yeah, it was really good. But here's the thing.
That's
Okay.
so funny. I didn't know.
I'm not gonna lie. Every now and then, I make a steak as good as the one you can get at the Capitol Grill.
I don't doubt that for a second.
What I think you're paying for is consistency. You know that if you go to
Yeah.
Capitol Grill,
gonna get a
99% of the
darn
time
good
you're going to get a
steak.
darn good steak. But there are
Absolutely.
times at home I get a phone call, and I come back to the steak, and it is well done.
Yeah, sure.
Well done. And I didn't buy extra
And you're
to
like,
practice.
whoops.
You
Yeah.
know? And then you stand over the sink and try to scrape the char off so that
Yeah.
your wife doesn't notice
Right.
that
You get the
overcooked
peeler
it.
out, and you're like trying to peel the outside of the steak.
So top to bottom, Crystal
You
to
really
Capitol
did,
Grill.
top to bottom.
It was like a marathon.
You know, we were at the town center a lot this weekend, and we went to Capitol Grill Friday night. I got the veal tomahawk. Let's talk about that. I mean, we don't even really need to talk about it. You can imagine. It was delicious. Their Brussels sprouts are out of this
they are.
world.
They are.
Their salads are fabulous.
Yep.
And then the next night, I went to Cantina Laredo
Yeah, look at that.
and had the steak fajitas.
Fajitas.
Yep, they were delicious.
And they probably did not taste like Tijuana Flats fajitas.
No. No, I will say everything at Cantina Laredo does taste different. If you aren't an avid fan of the independent brokerage, you might not get the Tijuana Flats joke. So go back and
Go back a few episodes.
Yeah.
And
How about real estate?
Lock boxes. Let's talk lock boxes.
Lock
that came up.
box.
So at Roundtable Realty,
Do you remember that Saturday Night Live skit with Al Gore?
No.
Lockbox.
The lockbox, lockbox.
No? All right, forget it. Somebody gets
Wah, wah. So lock boxes. At Roundtable Realty, we only use the Supra approved NEFAR lock box. It's Bluetooth, talks to the cloud. We know when someone goes in a home.
it. And a lot of our agents have the Apple Watch, and so to open that thing, they just put their watch up to it. And if they don't have the watch, they just use their phone, right? And put their phone,
Yep.
It's
And
great.
It's spectacular. And I don't know, hopefully most, if not all of the realtors in the Northeast Florida Association of Realtors, the best association of realtors,
Correct.
they know that the lockbox amendment or addendum that they do with the listing agreement tells the seller that's the only lockbox that's approved to be used. But, you know, there are realtors out there. I walk up to houses, as just happened. I walk up to a house and it's just this tumble combo lockbox, 3 letters, and
Doesn't
and
seem like it'd be that hard
I always
to crack.
wonder if the buyer is, maybe you have an untoward person who's looking over the realtor's shoulder, and they
they
happen
have
to
to
get
do.
that, and they come back later that night,
And suddenly they're a squatter.
or they're taking a washer and a dryer
Right.
and a refrigerator and
TV for the
and
living
the realtor
room.
wants to know how they get that lockbox
Right.
code.
Right. So easy to.
We don't do that
Just
here.
steal.
No. That's a big no.
When there's technology, why would you not use it?
I don't know. Costs a little bit more.
God forbid.
So one more real estate issue that I'm going to throw at you. What do you know? Dun, dun, what do you know?
This is my segment.
What do you know about repair replacement treatment agreements?
I know that sometimes we call them the RRPA.
RTA
Oh, shoot.
acronym.
I know nothing about those.
Okay. So let me explain what they are.
Great.
You're a buyer, and you get an inspection done on this house, multiple inspections, and you've come up with this list of things that you really, really want the seller to address. Some of them are deferred maintenance. Some of the things that you really, maybe you're being kind of nitpicky to ask them to, change all the carpet in the house when it's just normal wear and tear, that sort of thing. But you're allowed. You can ask for anything you want.
Okay.
And you say to the agent, these are the 5 things I want to ask for.
Okay.
And the agent, maybe a new agent who maybe it's their first deal, which is fine, and they just write fix door or fix roof or, fix
Which door?
sink.
What's wrong with the sink?
Right. And so
Okay.
so now
They're not
it
specific.
becomes an issue, specificity, and you go back in and the seller did the repairs that you said to do,
Right.
and you're like, no, I wanted you to replace the roof. I didn't want you to fix the hole in it. It needs a new roof.
I wasn't talking about the bathroom sink. I was talking about the kitchen sink.
And I needed the window replaced, not the slide or the window reglazed. I wanted a new window.
Right. Huh.
And all of a
Okay,
sudden,
so how do we fix that?
oh, I don't know.
Oh. So no solutions here
So
at the
you've
independent
got a real
brokerage.
problem because the realtor wrote something up that maybe was a little gray,
Right.
and you have now a seller who honestly thinks they did exactly what you told them to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fudge
No,
the numbers or anything.
They hired Home Depot. They came out and did the repairs.
Right.
So we have a tool we use. Actually, it's not even through us, but Inside and Out Property Inspectors.
Yeah, BJ Johnson.
And BJ Johnson. His wife runs Canines United.
Yeah, she is a cool lady.
Canines United trains dogs for the police force.
That's right.
So that's good.
It's very cool. They brought one in once
That's right.
into the office, and I laid on the floor with
You
the
did.
dog for about
That's true.
45 nights.
So Inside and Out Property Inspectors, one of my favorite property inspectors. Buyers should choose the one that they like.
You get
but-
to choose your own.
Yes, but I like them, and they have a system where, check this out, with a couple presses of a button, I can click on the right-hand corner and it says Create Repairs List. And with a click of the button, I am now taking the verbiage out of the inspection report and putting it in the RRTA. So now I'm not having
the repair,
to... Yeah.
replace.
I'm not having
Protection.
to... No. But I'm not having to summarize or pick the right words or somehow become some sort of lawyer or inspector to figure out what it's going to say.
You're taking the actual verbiage out of the inspection report, putting it into a repairs list, and delivering that to the seller.
It even does, in this particular program, I can even say repair or give me a credit, and I can put the amount of the credit, and it'll show up.
Wow. Oh, that saves so much time and heartache.
Well, and sometimes a buyer is like, I really want to do the repairs myself. I want to hire the people I want to hire.
Absolutely.
I don't want the seller to do the
well, if you're
repairs.
moving into the home, you want to know that it was done right because you're the one living there.
Because when you said fix roof, you meant replace the roof, and the seller thought, I'm just going to patch it.
Right.
Well, you want to be able to say do what you're going to do and hire the people you're going to hire.
Absolutely.
And so BJ has a really great system.
Yeah, that's very
And you know
great.
what else they'll do?
What?
For a nominal fee, I think it's like $75 or something like that, which might be the best $75 you spend. You can get a company through Inside and Out to create a report of estimates of all the repairs, how much it would cost if you hired one person to do all the repairs, and broken out how much it would cost to hire individuals to do the repairs, and they'll stand behind it with their warranties and things like that.
Sure.
That I think they have something where
That
they'll
seems
cover.
like a no-brainer to me.
Well, now I can go to the seller and I can say, hey, seller, look, all of these repairs are going to cost $7,000. If you give me a credit for $5,000 towards my closing costs or lower the price $5,000, I will do everything.
Yeah.
And here's the evidence. I'm not making this up. See,
What a great negotiating tool that is.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Somebody's...
And that's a big one. Who is it?
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Miss Erica.
That's Erica Dallas. Hi, Erica.
Yeah, so what I find, and I'm obviously not a real estate agent, I am the iced tea of real estate.
Dum-dum.
But but I find that inspections are where a lot of people kind of scrimp on the cost. They say, "Oh, I have this guy who can do an inspection for $150, so I'm going to hire him." And I think, and this was the case when Howard was my realtor many years ago, he said to me, "Now listen, you can choose whoever you want, but I would suggest you invest some money into your inspection with one of these companies that does so much more than just walk through your home. They have equipment that they use and special cameras and meters and all of that stuff. Because if you're making one of the biggest investments you're ever going to make in your life, you want to know exactly what you're buying."
Well, and you are hitting the nail on the head. There are inspectors out there that you can hire for a couple $100.
That's
right. And they will give you an inspection. They are licensed, and they probably do as good a job as they can do.
Absolutely.
And you can
they're not shysters. They just don't have the equipment that
and
these companies...
You can also spend $2,500 on a big house doing pool inspections and WO inspections and wind mitts and 4 points, and maybe there's a well inspection and a bulkhead. And so you can spend a lot of money. But you know what? I always say that's the best money you'll spend.
I completely agree with you. And it was for us. When we bought our home, they had just remodeled the inside, and there were a few little issues that... you get towards the end.
I think we found the electrical.
The electrical was an issue. You do the punch list at the end of your remodel, and it's like, a couple of things got left off of the punch list, and nobody noticed. And, well, BJ noticed. So we had all that taken care of before we even had to move in. It was phenomenal. It was a fair amount of money that we spent on the inspection, but it was worth it.
And it's a great house.
I love our house.
In a great location.
Yeah, thank you for helping.
Thank goodness we didn't buy that first house.
Oh, no, guys. I won't even talk to
I
you
think,
about
wasn't
that one.
there a mannequin on the side of the road that you kept saying, we drive by and there's a naked mannequin. If we go one way to the home and you're like, Howard, should we buy it or not? And I'm like, ooh.
Don't buy the home with the XXX store on the corner outside of the neighborhood.
Within
before
walking
you pull
distance,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, don't buy that home.
That's your thing.
Listen, if it's your thing, buy that home.
Yeah.
But if you have a family,
It's
you
like
might
your own
consider-
Netflix.
It is absolutely.
Instead
There's-
I'll just run up to the walk up to the corner.
Yep.
Segue. All right. And so that's going to be our
And that's
episode
it. That's
for today.
gonna hit the button on
But
it.
I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Erica's 2 children were in a car accident this weekend. They are good. They are healthy.
Thank God.
Everything is good there. So
You're gonna make her cry at her desk.
I hope not. But how thankful are we for big, heavy vehicles
Yes.
that protect? I think, did the airbags go off, Erica?
Every single one.
Every single one
Every
went off,
single
and
airbag.
it's a big, heavy car, and that's thank goodness. So
And
we
thank goodness that she has a work family
Yeah.
who will back her up and all of that
Well, yeah.
because
But
she
anyway,
had nothing else to focus on but those children. Thank God.
luckily everything turned out good. So Erica, shout out to you for having a rough weekend. That the kids were good though. That's the most important thing.
But my son got into UF.
He did.
Gators.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Probably not a team that I'll actively root for, but I'm very happy for your
Florida actually said no to me.
son. You're kidding.
25 years. No, they rejected me. They actually rejected me in person.
And look at you
Yeah,
now.
Yeah, thanks, Florida.
How about me now, Florida?
All right. Go Gators.
We'll see you next time.